love make you turn and twist and make it fit this beat, make you balance and grip on. Go down there, why not go down there? Go down there, why not go down there?
Yup. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. First of all, I apologize for being gone for so long. You know, life be lifing sometimes, but that's okay. I am back, and not a moment too soon. I do have an update for y'all on the per diem video. I've been asked in the previous video if I could do pros and cons, but I've also had some additional questions, and like I said, I do have some updates for you. But I tell you what, without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, so first things first. If you don't understand per diem, that's okay. All right. First of all, not every company offers per diem. But what you got to know is, even if the company does not offer a per diem, at the end of the year, you can claim that per diem. Okay. So previously, as of January 2024, the per diem was $69 a day. Well, the good news is October 1st, yes, today's October 5th, so just a few days ago, on October 1st, 2024, they have upped that $69 to $80. Yeah, okay. But the breakdown goes like this. It's $80 a day for a full day, but $60 a day for a partial day. Okay, so what do I mean by partial day? It's simple. A full day, you're gone, obviously, 24 hours or more, right? A partial day, maybe you're gone for 7 hours or 12 hours away from home. Okay, that is what the IRS considers a partial day versus a full day. But nevertheless, it is now $80 a day for a full day and $60 for a partial. Now, here's how that would break down. Let me answer that question that was asked previously. Pros and cons. Honestly, there's really, I don't really see any cons in per diem. I mean, it's free money. That means that you can go out to eat. Yeah, when you go shopping, you're out on the road, and I'm talking whether you're a company driver or whether you're an independent contractor. When you're out on the road, you are buying a lot of stuff, right? So you buy your GPS, you bought a CB radio, you bought some shoes, some personal hygiene stuff, pen, paper, anything like that, you claim on your taxes, right? But you go out to eat and you spend all this money, but you can't claim that. Those receipts are garbage, but that's okay. And that's where the per diem comes in. It's for your meals, right? So that's why now it's $80 a day. Yo, if you're eating $80 a day, you're throwing money away. I'm just saying, okay? On average, if you ate 3 meals a day, and I really don't know any driver that eats 3 meals a day, unless, maybe they snacking along the way. But if you stopping for breakfast, you stopping for lunch, you stopping for dinner, you ain't making no money. Because guess what? If the wheels ain't turning, you ain't earning, right? So $80 a day is actually pretty good, okay? I mean, and as far as the cons, like I said, it's hard for me to find cons. But everybody's situation is different, right? Here's how it comes down. Let's say you owe the government money, right? Whether it be the IRS or child support or some other government entity, then yeah, you want that money up front, okay? So you claim that per diem up front. Not everybody has that option. Like independent contractors, for example, they're 1099s, right? So they do their taxes usually at the end of the year. So that's when they get to claim. But if you're a company driver, you can actually have the option to get that money up front, right? So, and getting that money up front means your paycheck is bigger, Okay? If you don't owe any money to any government entity or anybody that can garnish your wages, then why not just go ahead and claim that at the end of the year and make your return larger? Okay? You do the math, right? Now, obviously don't go out there and talk about, yeah, I was out on the road for 365 days. I mean, look, if you were, you were. But I don't know, no. So, but it's still quite a bit of money, right? Now, that said, I'm gonna break this down, right? I'm gonna use simple numbers, that way it's easy to understand, okay? Let me adjust this thing here so you can see. There we go. All right. Easy numbers so y'all can understand. How does per diem actually work? If you're making $50,000 a year, right? Now we're talking company drivers now, okay? If you're making $50,000 a year, you know the saying goes, the more you make, the more they take, right? So if you're making $50,000 a year, they're going to tax you on that entire $50,000. Let's use a good 13%. That's state, well, not state tax, but your county tax and your state tax or whatever. But let's use a number of 13%. Okay, $50,000 a year, 13%. All right. So you times that by the 13%, and you come up with $6,500, right? So you subtract. You're gonna subtract that $6,500 from that $50,000. All that $6,500 is all tax. Okay, that's the taxes you have paid. What's left over is $43,500. Okay, that'll be your net annually that you're gonna be taking home. $43,500. Now, let's take that same $50,000. Let's say $20,000 of that is per diem, right? Take that $20,000, set that aside. Okay. Now they're only taxing you, because that lowers your tax bracket now. So now you're only $30,000. So they're now taxing you on $30,000 instead of the $50,000. All right, feel me? So what does that mean? $30,000. That's $3,900 at 13%. So instead of paying the $65,000, you're now paying the $39,000. All right. Take that $39,000, throw it out the window. All right, that's gone. The IRS done took that money, right? Now that leaves you with $26,100. Oh, but wait a minute. You said, yeah, I know. But don't forget, you got $20,000 sitting to the side. So you take that $26,100, that's your net, and you add that other $20,000. Now you're netting $46,100. Okay, see how that works? So instead of taking home only 43, you're taking home 46. That's how the per diem is broken down. They don't tax you on any per diem. Okay. Now, so I hope that did make some sense. If you have any questions, just message me and I'll answer them in a little bit more detail. Okay. So again, instead of $69, it is now $80 for a full day and $60 for a partial. All right. So I don't know about you, but that's pretty decent money. Independent contractors, same. You get to claim that at the end of the year. And hey, do the math. And what it is, you will times the amount that it is, whether it be the $80 or whether it be the $60, based on the amount of time you stay out. So if you have 5 days, example, that you stayed out, you would times the 8, make sure it's a full day, you would times that 5 days by 80. Okay. So, and then the 60 partial day, same thing. If you have 5 partial days, you would then time the $60 a day, partial day, times that same 5 days. All right. put those two together, and that's what you're going to be claiming on your taxes. Now, you do that over the course of 12 months. Okay? I know a lot of drivers will stay out for 3 weeks, go home for about a week or 3-4 days. You don't get to count those. Only the time you're away from home, whether you're partial or full. All right? Now, let's get into the next topic. If you have any questions, like I said, message me below. And meanwhile, since we're here and we're talking about it, go ahead and hit that like button for me. All right, helps the algorithm a little bit. And subscribe. All right. Now, let's talk about this. How do I know how much money I need to make? A lot of us come out here, or you know what? It don't even matter if you're a driver or if you're a secretary or whatever it is. Whatever it is you do in life, these numbers will work for you. Okay? So, I'm going to give you some examples. Once again, I'm going to use real easy numbers. Okay? Alright. Let's say, but I'm for the sake of, since it's a trucking channel, I'm going to go ahead and use truck drivers. Okay? So, $4,000. Alright? Oh, where did I get that $4,000 from? Okay, that is the total amount of bills. Okay, we're talking car payment, light bill, phone bill, internet, water, sewer, garbage, whatever, insurance, all that combined. I hope it's not $4,000, but let's just go ahead and say it's $4,000. Okay, $4,000. That is your expenses for the month. All right. How you figure that out? You would take that $4,000 and divide it by 4. So that's $1,000. That's 4 weeks, by the way. So that's $1,000 a week, right? Okay. Before I move on, let's discuss that for a minute. $1,000 a week is what, as a company driver, is what you would need to make to break even. That means you haven't made no money. You ain't going to no date night. You're not going to no groceries. You ain't got no gas put in your car. You ain't got nothing, right? That's it. So if you're making, let's say, $1,500 a week, now your profit is $500 because that other $1,000 gone. All right. So that said, that's what you got to come up with. $1,500. Now, hopefully you get more than that. You know, a lot of people got side hustles and whatever, so you need to make a good profit, right? Now, ideally speaking, you know, you got to pay rent or whatever in an apartment, you know. Maybe that number might be $1,000 less. Maybe it's $3,000, right? But it's the same deal. You would divide that $3,000 by 4, and that number that you get, that's what you need to make to break even. Anything above that is a profit. Okay? Now, let's talk about independent contractors. All right. Now, again, I'm using mock numbers, you know, based on my own experiences on what these numbers would be. Okay? So, let's say, by the way, that same $4,000 still applies. So let's set that aside for right now, okay? All right, check this out. Let's say you bought fuel and it costs you $1,200 for the week for fuel, all right? Again, and you're consistent across the board for those 4 weeks. So that's $4,800, all right? Set that aside. All right. Now, you take that $4,800. Now, you bought a used truck, so you're coming out pretty good, and you're making a $1,500 per month truck payment, right? All right. Now, take that $4,800 I told you to set aside. Take that $4,800 and add it, okay, to that $1,500. You have $6,300 now, okay? Still talking expenses now. Expenses aside. Now, you still got fixed costs. You got base plates. You got permits. You got whatever else they're gonna charge you for, okay? Those fees, let's say it's about $400 a week, comes out to about $1,600 a month, right? And your insurance, since you got a used truck, depending on the cost of your truck, or the value of your truck, I mean. But let's just throw a number out there, say $300, okay? So, add everything up, that's $8,200, right? Okay, remember that $4,000 I told you about earlier? Because you got your house bills, and you got your business bills, right? So house expenses, business expenses, combine both of those together, and now you are at $12,200, right? That's 82 plus the 4,000. That's $12,200. Divide by 4. All right. Hope I'm not losing none of y'all. All right. You need to pause. But divide by 4. That's why I'm using easy numbers. Okay. That's $3,050. Right. That's what you need to make to break even. Owner operators, that's what you need to make to break even. So, ideally, a good $5,000 net take home would be good. $6,000, $7,000 would be good. In today's freight rates, that's going to be hard, but you know what? Depending on where you at, it's still doable. Okay. But if you're only making $3,000 a week or $3,100, $30, whatever, you ain't making no money. Yeah, the check looks good, but the check is gone because you done paid all your bills and now you have $0 left. But if you're making that $5,000, okay, take that $3,000 out, you got $2,000 in your pocket. Well, really $1,000 because you're going to take that other $1,000 and put it in your business, right? Okay. So, got any questions? Let me know. Now, I do have a bonus for you. All right? Got a bonus for you. So, the bonus. Well, how much fuel do I need to do this load? Okay. Listen, y'all. For you company drivers that want to be independent contractors, once you get into that truck and become an independent contractor, you have to get out of that company driver mindset. Well, what do I mean by that? Most company drivers, when they become independent contractors, they're so used to topping off the fuel tanks every single time. You can't do that. Okay? If you do that, you will go broke. Fuel and maintenance are your two biggest expenses. I'm gonna say that again. Fuel and maintenance are your two biggest expenses. And if you don't do it right, you will go bankrupt. So, here's a formula for you. So, yeah, I wrote this one down, okay? Because I want to make sure that I give you all exact. You take the fuel and the miles, right? So, mileage divided by 7. Where do I get the 7 from? If you're doing it right, your truck should hopefully be getting about 7 miles to the gallon. Now, if you are at 8.5, you're doing great, but the average is 7, right? If you got a long nose Pete or a Freightliner Classic or whatever, something like that, then obviously, you know, you might not be getting 7. You might be getting more like 5. Whatever. Okay? But, amount of mileage. So let's use easy numbers. Let's say 1,000 miles, right? So 1,000 miles divided by 7, not 0.07, but 7, okay? That means you need about 142 gallons to go that 1,000 miles, right? Not, you know, so if you're only going, 500 miles, that's half that, right? Okay. Then, well, how much is this load paying? Okay. You take the amount the load is, the mileage of the load, and divide it into the mileage. Did I say that right? Hold on. Okay. Let me correct myself here. Alright, so you would take what the load is paying. Let's say the load pays $2,000, right? $2,000 divided by the mileage. And remember what I said, it was 1,000 miles, right? So $2,000 divided by the mileage, which is 1,000 miles, and you get $2 a mile. So whatever your mileage is, that's the formula. All right. So once again, how do I know how much fuel I need? You take the amount of the miles, whether it be 500 miles, whether it be 100 miles, 1,000 miles, doesn't matter. You take whatever mileage you have and divide that by 7, and you get the amount of gallons that you need, right? Then, after you figure that out, hey, rates are crap right now, all right? But it is what it is. You got to do what you got to do, because at the end of the day, you're out here to make a profit, right? So you would take what the load is paying you and divide that into the mileage, and then you'll get how many dollars per mile. All right, so I hope that helps. Until next time, like, share, subscribe, and once again, if you have any questions, drop me a message and I'll get back to you. I will have more videos coming out soon. I won't be gone for a long time like I was before, so once again I apologize for that, but like I said, hey, it's life. All right, but see you soon.